Daughter said, "Mommy, why'd you go to work that day?" She never said, "Why did you do what you did?" or "I wish you wouldn't have done it." She just said, "I wish you wouldn't have gone to work that day."
You're watching the most shocking and informative LRJ TV News.
Hello, I'm LRJ from LRJ TV News. Let's watch this video. It's going to be good. Let's go.
November 1st, 2006, there was a call of an officer in trouble at 707 Walden.
That officer, Gregory Kwiatkowski, who was responding to a domestic dispute inside of that home between Neil Mack and his girlfriend. When Officer Cariol Horne went into the house, she says Mack had already been placed under arrest.
He was handcuffed in the front, and he was sideways and being punched in the face by Gregory Kwiatkowski.
Horne and about 10 other officers who arrived at the scene helped drag Mack out of the home, but once outside, Horne says Officer Kwiatkowski was out of control.
Gregory Kwiatkowski turned Neil Mack around and started choking him. So then I'm like, "Greg, you're choking him," because I thought whatever happened in the house he was still upset about. So when he didn't stop choking him, then I just grabbed his arm from around Neil Mack's neck.
If that chokehold of a handcuffed suspect caught Horne off guard, it didn't prepare her for what she says Kwiatkowski did next.
He comes up and punches me in the face, and so I had to have my bridge replaced.
Horne says other officers pulled her back when she tried to defend herself. Following that incident, Horne was fired, charged with obstruction for jumping on Officer Kwiatkowski's back and or striking him with her hands. But Officer Kwiatkowski's own words seem to conflict with the charges. In sworn testimony, he says, "She never got on top of me." Nonetheless, Horne lost every appeal, her 19-year career over, and she didn't qualify for a pension. The breadwinner for her 5 children, Horne, now a truck driver to make ends meet.
My daughter said, "Mommy, why'd you go to work that day?" She never said, "Why did you do what you did?" or "I wish you wouldn't have done it." She just said, "I wish you wouldn't have gone to work that day." So I don't regret it.
Officer Kwiatkowski retired from the police force after he was suspended for choking another officer on the job, a separate incident of punching another officer when he was off the clock, and most recently, Kwiatkowski and 2 other officers were indicted on civil rights charges for holding down a black teenager and shooting him with a BB gun.
Buffalo police officers Raymond Krug and Joseph Wendell are facing federal charges, accused of shooting at teenage suspects with one of the suspects' own BB gun while they were handcuffed and in the back of a police cruiser. A third officer, retired Lieutenant Gregory Kwiatkowski, is also named in the federal charges, accused of using excessive force in the same arrest of 4 teenage suspects back in 2009.
The indictment lastly accuses Kwiatkowski, Wendell, and Krug of continuing their use of excessive and unreasonable force once the 4 suspects got taken to the precinct house in Buffalo.
It all happened outside this home on Tree Haven Road 5 years ago. One of the officers indicted in this case has had several excessive force claims filed against him in the past.
Well, I think it was a long time coming, but it was bound to happen.
Former police officer Cariol Horne is talking about a call she was on with Gregory Kwiatkowski on Walden Avenue back in 2006. She says she tried to stop Kwiatkowski from choking a suspect. Horne says she was not surprised to learn he was indicted on excessive force charges related to the 2009 case.
One good apple doesn't make the bunch good, but one bad apple can spoil the whole bunch. And my experience with him is they fired me, promoted him, and as you can see, he's spoiled.
But now, years later, not everyone thinks the U.S. Attorney has a strong criminal case against those 3 officers. Terry Connors is representing Raymond Krug.
One of the things we're going to investigate is why the delay was so long and why it was filed on the eve of the expiration of the statute of limitations. Logic would suggest that if it were a very strong case, it would have been brought right away.
With this indictment, along with recent charges of misconduct against Buffalo police officers, FBI Special Agent in Charge Brian Botig says important internal changes are being made at police headquarters.
This is a culture within the Buffalo Police Department, and culture is not easy to change. When you try to make repairs, you expose a lot of damage.
damage the department is working to contain. Meantime, Kwiatkowski retired in 2011 and is now collecting his pension.
That little racist cop got promoted to be a lieutenant after he killed some people and everything. And guess what, people? He kept his pension. But her, 19 years, and trying to do what's right, is what happened. They let her go. Therefore, there is no good cops. Because if you're a good cop, you got fired. How many good cops we seen that blown the whistle and got fired? How many? How many? Right there. The next time someone tell you that all cops not bad, tell them to kiss. I'm LRJ. Rate, comment, and subscribe. Why? Because you be glad you did. I love you all. Peace.